Ever wanted to visit lush Mars? If you've seen Total Recall, you know, yeah, you're not going to get it. But you can terraform it and make it better. Hey guys, this is Anthony from Tabletop Misfits, and welcome to another Under the Lid for Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition. Now this is the collector's edition. We already took the wrapping off, because we do that beforehand. This is the edition that has all the extra plates and things like that in it. It's a little bit better than your standard retail edition. Now, this came out a little bit ago, not too long ago. It is a very, very good card game. Now, if you've played Terraforming Mars at all, this game, that's a top 10 game of all time. Terraforming Mars is one of my favorite games. They put out honestly enough, a game that rivals it in card form. It's actually really, 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 really good. Now we're gonna check out what's under the lid in this game. We'll probably do some gameplay videos if you haven't had a chance to pick up this game and play it, but it is absolutely awesome. So we're gonna take a look here. Now, of course, they do awesome box art. Now for the collector's edition, I think they embossed it, did some pretty stuff with it. It is a very nice box, very well constructed. They do such a good job at Stronghold games. I can't recommend enough. So kudos to the box already. Very, very pretty, very shiny. Now we're going to take a look at what's in the actual box here. We got our Ares Expedition, and I think they made the manual like waterproof. I love when they do this. It's kind of not a normal paper manual. It's kind of like it's either like laminated or it's made out of like plastic. I don't know, but this is very cool. I love when they do this. And Stronghold Games does great manuals, so this will keep you busy for a little bit. You got your quick start guide made up in the same kind of material. This, I absolutely love when they do quick start guides for games. Obviously this, and if I've played this game a lot already, it has a lot of similarities to Terraforming Mars in general. So if you played that game, you're already in good hands. You're going to get this game up and going like that. If you haven't played it though, they have a quick setup which tells you literally from start to finish how to get playing. Now, if you have played it though, it says there's similarities between Terraforming Mars and differences for Terraforming Mars, which kudos to you guys because that's literally the first question that came to my mind when I opened the game and started playing it. So basically it gets you up running faster because it introduces you to the concepts that are different from the original game. So that's your quick start guide. Now with this special edition, you get the better player boards. I highly recommend if you could find it, and Misfit Tom actually got a great deal on Amazon. I think they had a clearance, some of these stuff like that.
It was a freak sale.
It was a freak sale. They had a great price on this. If you can get the collector's edition, I highly recommend picking it up rather than the retail version, and that's largely for the boards. Now, when Terraforming Mars first came out, they had these flat boards, and I think in the retail they have these flat boards. And what happens is you keep track of all your income on these boards, and the problem is if they're flat, as soon as anybody bumps the table, these cubes get moved. Because you put little cubes here, of course, like I said, to track stuff. They will get moved, and you will lose track of where they're at sometimes, and that's a big problem when the whole game is based around where those numbers are at for your production. So you always want like a board that has indentations that'll hold it in place, so if anybody bumps it, it's not going to go anywhere. And I remember when Mars came out originally, people were buying third-party boards to do that until they got wise and started making their own. So they were smart, although I think, honestly, I will say Stronghold, definitely include it in I would include this stuff right now if you make any Terraforming Mars, including your retail edition. It's really kind of, I think, almost a must for this game. So you have your production boards, of course, all the same flavor with their little indentations. You have your Mars board. Now this board is where the action kind of sort of happens. It's where you keep track of your terraforming rating, which is essentially your score, how much money you get, things like that. Mars is actually this is the board game board more or less. So instead of having the big board and everything else, you have just this planet surface, and it'll have tokens on it for water that you'll flip over and get bonuses. You'll keep track of your score here otherwise. You have different icons for each. Here's cardboard. Now here's the ocean tokens that will go on that board. You have your forest tokens. Forest tokens in this game, if you played, they just serve as like straight up bonuses. You just get them, put them in a pile. Oceans now give you like a random bonus basically when you flip them over. Here's some more forest tokens. And you have your different phases. Now this game plays in different phases. You basically choose which phase. You don't get every phase every turn. So each player like chooses a different phase. And that's what these are. They just tell you what exactly you can do because everybody makes a choice. In here is going to be a lot of cards. You have cards, and if you remember Mars, of course, you're going to be shuffling these bad boys all up and drawing from them. Now these are the cards where you make the choice of what phase you're going to play every round. Each player gets a hand of these, and you put them down. And we'll go more into detail for rules later on, but these are all very, very pretty. They hired great art teams to kind of get your wood-burning stoves looking very, very pretty on these cards. Isn't that an amazing wood-burning stove? That is amazing.
It is amazing.
It's like the future of wood-burning stoves on here right now. So they did a good job making the cards very pretty. The iconography, the design is actually, I think, better than the original Mars card designs. Of course, it won't be Mars without cubes. You got your cubes right here in your various player colors, blue, red, green, and yellow. In this, though, you have your other cubes as well. Now, if you remember, Mars came with their own metally tokens, and they did not go the metal route, sadly, because I love those. However, they did give you these nice kind of, what is the word for this? They're kind of, they got like streaks in them. They're not plain colored. They're kind of marbled, I guess you want to say, kind of marbly looking. So they actually do look very nice, and they have kind of a sheen to them a bit. So actually they did very good. It might be cheaper than the actual metal coated tokens, if you remember, and some third party actually made metal tokens. But these are actually a really nice way to do it to kind of bring production costs down. They're very, very pretty, just for plastic. Very, very nice marbly. You can see that, they're very good. And I'll get the 10. Now these just keep track of how much amounts you have for anything. So like that's a 10, that's a 5, that's a 1, basically. But they're very pretty. They did a very good job with those. Now, one other thing I like about the collector's edition, they give you these trays to keep said resources in. They're pretty standard trays. You put your resources in each of these boxes and you're good to go. And they fit right inside the box, so it makes it very, very easy. Then you have your dividers. They actually give you plastic dividers, which I like a lot. So you can keep your card section separate because you have your corporation cards, you have your player cards, and then of course you got your quick sheets, your quick reference cards, which are very good. So you have corporation phase dividers, and then you have your player aids. So these are very cool, and they give you a good idea of just, they give you a good way to sort out your cards, basically. And that's largely actually everything in the box. Now you might be like, well, how does it pack so much gameplay in like so little components in a box? Trust me, this game is as deep and as fun as the original Mars. It does sacrifice some, obviously, table presence in the original Mars, but what it does gain is it gains a quick and easy way to play, setup, breakdown, while still getting all that Mars feel. If you haven't played Mars, by the way, go play it now. Get a copy of Terraforming Mars and just play it. You will not regret it at all. Anyway, guys, thanks for coming out for our Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition Under the Lid. This game I can't recommend enough. It is super awesome. We'll definitely be doing some gameplay videos. Don't forget to like, subscribe down below. We really appreciate you guys watching us. Anyway, take care, guys. Again, this is Anthony with Tabletop Misfits. Game on.